What's going on, everyone? I'm Ottengroff, and today on the Untrained Ear, we're going to be talking about PUP and their fifth studio album, Who Will Look After the Dogs? So, this album is some straight up punk, emo, street punk, in your face stuff. This album features soaring electric guitars, anthemic choruses, rolling drums, dynamic in all regards. This thing is stylistic, it's edgy. It's got that 2000s just emo core lyricism. Man, this thing pulled me back to Blink 182. It pulled me back to a lot of things. I'm going to date myself. This thing pulled me back to high school hardcore. And let me tell you, Stefan Babcock, this guy's a picturesque frontman for this band. He's got this true, like, Blink 182 aesthetic, vocal style. Man, he is dynamic, and he absolutely sets the tone for this album. Um, I'm going to tell you right here that PUP is not trying to break any kind of mold with this record, and I would venture to guess that they haven't tried to do that with any of their previous four either. What they excel at is they are going to deliver you an absolute five-star meal in the confines of the genres of punk, street punk, and maybe even with this piece, I think dip their toes into the pool of metal and even metalcore music. And I definitely recommend if you fall into those genre pools, this is a project worth checking out. You will not regret it. All right, we got to dive in with Concrete, man. This thing is prototypical punk rock emo alternative with nice surfing guitar chords and crash cymbals with smashing drums that it's just carrying and percussion. The anthemic choruses, which I think are thematic across this album, and from what I was reading, are something that are recurring in this band's vocal style. Just really give you this like hurrah, like team spirit, like we're all together in this kind of feeling that I think is really bonding and cohesive in the album. For me, this thing, man, it pulled me just straight back into high school. This track particularly, and it just like inserted and inject me right into that like feeling where your heart is just punctured in a breakup, and it feels like just the biggest betrayal that this person that you've been with, that you felt like you were so invested in, just all of a sudden does not want to be a part of your picture anymore. And it just stings. And it's painful. And it's raw. And you're so mad. And your world is so small. But it's so valid. Because it is your world at that time, you know? And the lyrics are just so gutting. And I just remember this feeling so much and so angry, but it's so like, I'm so there, man. It's funny how you come around when you're out of options, but I just don't give a shit about your problems. It's funny how you come around when you're on empty. Do you really think I want to drag your corpse all over the concrete? Oh, yeah, I'm there. I'm right back there. Whew. This would have been on the breakup playlist. Oh, yeah. You just got to get that stuff out. This is a good track, man. Okay. We're going right back to lyrics with Hunger for Death. Ready for these ones? Fuck everyone on this planet except for you. Except for you. I've been on a rampage. Whatever's wrong with my heart must be wrong with yours too. You've been feeling satanic. Like, why bother with God? He don't bother with you. So fuck everyone on this planet except for you. This is the magic about this album and probably this band that makes them, I think, so intergenerational. Is they muster this connection through betrayal and through pain. And you feel it. The way that they write these lyrics, maybe it's just him, the way that he writes these lyrics, it brings you back there, man. I'm back there. I feel it. That rebel without a cause feeling in adolescence, where you just are so alone in a sea of people who don't get it, but you're surrounded by all these other lonely people. It encapsulates that spirit of the punk, emo, hardcore world that I grew up in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, where that emo core aesthetic was just so big. And it was on the rise, that culture, and just like seizes it. Anyway, you hit these pace changes in this song, these bursts of sound. You got the booms of the drum, the electric guitar, these rhythmic slams, and you hold the pace. The guitar solo in this song, it doesn't do too much, which is really appreciable. The song is brief, and it's just got these really great like emo anthem vibes, and I don't know, I jive with it. I think that this could be like a cult classic track. It's just got that feel about it. This whole album in general has just really got like cult classic vibes to me. Love it. Okay. Paranoid was a really interesting track for me because I think stylistically it's a little different from what you get for the rest of this album. First off, the vocals are very heavy, especially in the beginning. Verse one, I was getting like super Rage Against the Machine vibes in the first verse, especially. You get like chugging guitar for the first couple bars, and then you get the soaring metal influence, definitely metal all over, just like lacing its fingers in the blood of this track. And then the lyricism, right? It's very gut wrenching and raw. And then in the bridge, you get to the bridge, and I'm thinking, ooh, I feel a I feel a breakdown coming. And it can't be because it's so metal. And this is not a metal album, and it's just like it couldn't be, but all the warning signs are there. You've got patient drums, tense progressing guitar chords, and you just feel it coming. You know it. If you've been involved in metal to any degree, you feel it in the course of your veins that that breakdown is coming, man. And the tension releases, and there's this massive breakdown for them, at least. And it's super noisy and it's super chaotic, and this track is just so badass. Very rewarding. Paranoid is good. Then we get Best Revenge. This track is very anthemic. It feels like the capstone for the album in a lot of ways. The lyricism is very cheeky, but it's cute. There's an Adele reference in the lyrics, and the vocal tracking, I have to say on this one, it's very stellar and addictive. I loved the pitching, and I think the progression is very karaoke lent, and you could definitely see this being a punk genre like Black Parade style. Like you go to the dive bar with your friends, and this is the kind of thing that like you could see alt people like being really in on like singing together. It sums up really well the themes across this album of the unity through pain and heartbreak idea, finding connection through despair. This is definitely a feel good track, while a lot of the lyricism pretends that it might not be. And I think the guitar chords and some of the instrumental progressions definitely help in suggesting that as well. I think it's really well orchestrated, and I definitely think this was a good wrap up piece on the album as well. Very well done. Criticism for this album: the mixing I felt was a little rough on some of the tracks, particularly. A good example of this, I think, is in the track Cruel. At one point, there is this weird scratching, and I couldn't tell if it was, which is also a problem. I couldn't tell if it was electric guitar or synth. Completely overpowers basically all the other sound in the track, and it does it in a very jarring way, and it just like completely snapped my immersion for a minute, not a minute, but a couple moments on the track, which is not a good experience for me sonically. I had very few gripes, but bad mixing. I understand, especially in punk and emo core and street punk, like your mixing doesn't have to be pristine, but when the mixing is bad enough that I'm losing my immersion and feeling like I'm losing a lot of the orchestration and instrumentality in what's already kind of a simplistic instrumental mix, we've got some problems. I think they have some cleanup that they can do. Again, like I don't need it to be perfect, but I think you can do a little bit better. So that would be some improvement I would like to see from them. Um, Listen, overall, this album, Who Will Look After the Dogs, I don't think it's trying to be what it's not, and I think it excels at what it is. This is a true punk record with awesome instrumentals, raw and lyrical vocals. It's dirty, but it's got a cohesive sound. If I'm thinking about a baseless rating for this project, I absolutely have to give this thing a Spitfire 7.